3 days before Leon and Unri had learned of their course path, the EOLA's Board of Studies, consisting of 25 head teachers and sect sponsors, were seated at an oval table of a large conference room. They were going through all the results for those who had sat Test 3, doing the observations team by team to determine who would be in the coveted Spirit Sword unit, the department that honed the Spirit Swordsmen and weapon specialists. Unlike most of the academy departments, this unit only took 20 students per year. It also had the connected Mage Specialism subunit, which developed specialists in biochemistry and medical science. This subunit had a further limit on numbers, accepting only 10 students a year, since it would be seen as a rival to the Yi University's specialism program if more students were taken for these courses. Tyne and Colin were leading the discussions, calling up digital student profile images from half-circle hollow PC discs at the center of the table.
Team 1 only had 2 students of note, Gu Ren and Chad Michaels. Both tested high in their battle,
Tyne said as he observed their profiles side by side. The image from the hollow PC changed to recaps of their test battle. The screen paused on Gu Ren and Chad Michaels' images when both of them were synchronizing a killing blow on a hawk.
Gu Ren is a level 29 mage. Chad Michaels a level 26 mage. Both with strong strategy and offense abilities.
Colin nodded.
Do we agree they become part of the unit?
Tyne asked the board. All hands were raised to show an affirmative. They ran through the other teams and made their picks and eventually came to Team 6.
Matt Damon, a level 29 mage from Sola's private military. He was the only one who tested high in his battle.
Tyne coolly noted.
What about Marcus Swain?
One of the board members called out. The screen switched to Marcus's profile.
A level 25 mage from Alliance Military. Average entry scores. But his battle performance in Test 3 wasn't good. Nor were his other 2 test results.
Tyne's voice was expressionless.
I'm not comfortable including him into the unit just because of his background.
But he's a Swain. If we don't accept him, we will face a consequence from the Element sect.
The board member cried out with concern. A murmur erupted from the other board members, who also shared their concerns. Colin rose to calm the members.
I'll deal with the Element sect. I agree with Tyne that his results weren't fit for the unit. We'll ensure he is part of a similar program to live up to our agreement with the family.
Will you now?
Said a raspy voice that entered the room unannounced. All heads turned to see who it was. The members rose to bow their respects to their uninvited guest, Chairman Yan. Everyone formally greeted the elderly man who stepped into the room. The man was dressed in black gloves, a black overcoat over a simple black business suit with a white butterfly collar shirt and a black Kentucky Colonel tie. His face was covered in a trimmed wise beard. He wore a soft peak hat with the brim hanging over his bushy white eyebrows. He was wearing mirrored sunglasses, so his eyes couldn't be seen. Tyne rose to offer his chair to the elderly man, who didn't hesitate to sit down in it.
What is your opinion on the situation, Chairman Yan?
Colin carefully asked the man.
It's your school, but I agree. To make an exception will make the 3 tests pointless.
Chairman read through the school data that was being shown to him on the inside of his glasses. He had concluded the school had made the right decision, which also benefited the Cloud sect inadvertently. To everyone else, it looked like he was sizing up Colin and his question.
Well, if it's decided, let's move on to the next team.
Tyne jumped in to move the discussions on. He had grabbed a spare seat for himself and was sitting behind Colin to lead the discussions. The screen switched to the profiles of Team 7. Colin noticed Chairman Yan's body had shifted to be more upright.
Interesting.
He mused internally. Indeed, the entire table was abuzz with an excitable murmur, which Tyne brought to order.
I'm not going to lie. The strongest testing team on this table was Team 7.
Tyne said proudly, and switched to individual profiles.
First is their vanguard, Evan Parker from Prescott. He's known throughout the high school sports circle as that school's national ski ace.
Tyne commented. The image switched to one of Evan's killing blows on a Great Dane foul.
A level 27 mage who also scored high on his high school results, as well as the other two tests.
He will make a great contribution to the Spirit Sword unit.
Chairman Yan commented, which stirred agreement from the table. Colin frowned, wondering what the chairman was up to. Chairman Yan wasn't part of the board, but because of the school's affiliation with the Cloud sect, he was granted a say on student enrollments as something of an advisor. Since he was also close friends with his father, the school's chairman, the board was aware that his opinions mattered.
Well, if everyone agrees, we will include him.
He nodded.
Next is Lo Bingyi, another student from Solas and a sports hero. A level 27 mage who performed well in all tests.
Everyone agreed to include him. The chairman stayed silent on his profile, so the discussions moved on to the next one.
Jane Appleton, level 26 mage from our connected secondary school. She specializes in medical sciences and bioweaponry. Scored high on her test results as well. Adapts well in the field.
There was a unanimous agreement to include her in the coveted specialism program.
Unri Eaton.
Colin noted when Unri's school profile was called up on the screen. Everyone sat upright to read it, even Chairman Yan.
A level 30 mage from our connected secondary school. As expected, scored high on his high school exams as well as all his tests.
Tyne noted. Chairman Yan chuckled.
To live in the shadow of a god. The poor lad.
Colin raised a brow.
Chairman.
Yeah. Don't mind me. Keep going.
Chairman Yan waved off. The board was more than happy to accept Unri into the unit.
Next we have Leon Brackshaw, Team 7's leader.
I disagree.
Chairman Yan said before they could discuss Leon's profile.
What do you mean, you disagree?
Tyne frowned.
He has the eyes of trouble.
Chairman Yan's eyes narrowed behind his glasses. His words caused an agitated whisper among the table. Colin and Tyne shared pensive glances. Colin rose to carry Leon's image to a bigger screen on the conference wall. So Leon's mugshot covered the entire area.
Take a good look at him, Chairman. He is the first level 40 mage to be registered in our academy. Not to mention, his 3 test results ranked him in the top 5 of this school. If that isn't enough, who does he remind you of?
Colin's expression was revealing his outrage. Chairman Yan chuckled and eased back in his chair.
I'm well aware of his face in his family name. But a boy from Metal District Estzone? Even if he went to the Same Secondary School as the Yi Hires, the academy will still suffer a loss of face.
So what should we do? Allow a once-in-a-lifetime talent to slip through our fingers?
Colin snapped, which surprised the board. Tyne carefully stepped in to calm the escalating tension between Colin and the chairman.
Chairman, I understand your concerns. We're aware that accepting a student from an S-zone can cause a stir within the families, and have prepared for this. But we also owe it to our heroes of the fall to nurture their next generations.
Chairman Yan frowned. So, that was why he had received the sudden invitation out of the blue. Their chairman wanted him to validate Leon's right to the program. It made him wonder what the academy was planning, since they rarely made exceptions for students from lower social classes, even if they were from a hero of the fall.
Brackshaw.
He mumbled to himself. His frown deepened with another thought.
I see your reasons for accepting the sense of our heroes of that time.
He leaned forward.
Aren't you afraid you'll unlock a can of worms accepting this one?
Chairman Yan, while I appreciate your concerns, our chairman has already sanctioned Leon's attendance.
Colin calmly said when he sat back down. The chairman rose to take his leave.
Mark my words, President Yang. That boy will be the family's downfall.
A momentary silence lingered about the room after Chairman Yan had left.
President Young. Will we rarely suffer a fallback, enrolling this student into the unit?
A board member asked. Tyne and Colin shared a pensive glance.
Don't worry. We're not doing anything against the rules. The administration has already granted its approvals. And we have prepared statements for the families and sects.
Tyne reassured the member.
Shall we move on?
The board sighed with relief and was happy to change the topic to something else.